Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robbie Williams. So, just before we get going with this episode, we're going to catch up with all the Robbie news and events that have been happening recently, aren't we, Liz? Yeah,
because there's been a lot. There's actually stuff happening in Robbie world, which is exciting.
Yeah, we've actually got stuff to talk about that isn't in the past. So we're kind of rewinding and forwarding, but yeah, anyway, Robbie news.
So hopefully everyone's actually had a chance to listen to our two Steve interviews, Steve Power and Steve Sidwell. We did enjoy doing those. If you haven't had a chance to listen, please do. We're very proud of them.
Definitely make that a priority. Go and listen to them. They're brilliant.
Yeah. Even if we say so ourselves, it's more the fact that the two Steves are brilliant, and they give some great stories.
We're great interviewers, of course, as well, but you know.
But yeah, let us know what you think on social media when you've had a chance to listen to those. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, drop us a line. Just let us know what you think. Be great.
And then this past weekend, because we're recording this on Tuesday, the episode comes out on Wednesday, so literally the weekend just gone, Robbie has been in Ibiza appearing with Lufthouse, Tim and Flynn. He was in 5 to 8 bar on Thursday, Pikes on Friday, and at the Ibiza Rocks Hotel on Sunday.
So that was the 11th, 12th and 14th of August for posterity.
Yeah. So we shared quite a lot on our social media videos and photos from those performances. It looked like it went down really well. The crowds were loving it. Robbie seemed to be loving it.
He looked absolutely in his element. He absolutely looked like he was in the zone.
Yeah.
You know, smiling, dancing, just really
getting into the crowd.
Very comfortable, very relaxed. I think it took him back to his Ibiza days, which he probably can't remember. But
he did say at the Ibiza Rocks Hotel, I saw a video, he said something like, I was here in 93, 94, 95, totally out of my head, or something like that.
But yeah, they played 3 quite different venues, didn't they, actually?
Yeah.
Ibiza's not just all clubs, you know, as you'd imagine. It's slightly different. Sort of one was sort of like a garden venue in a tent.
Yeah.
One was a tiny little room by the looks of it, which must have been quite interesting.
That one looked amazing.
The other one was in the centre of the Ibiza Rocks Hotel, which
I wouldn't have wanted
kind
to
of
be there.
A day club rather than a nightclub.
Well,
yes.
It looked like everyone wanted to be on Love Island. That's what I thought.
Lucy and I won't be staying there anytime soon, but we do like Ibiza. We have been there, but you're not a big clubber.
No.
I am, but because you're not, we're
anymore.
not anymore. I would be, but
yeah. So also, it came out in one of the Ibiza news pieces. It said something like Lufthouse are planning on releasing their debut studio album by the end of this year. So that's something to look forward to.
Yes.
Actually, might get some of those great songs on an album.
Yeah, well, there's one where Rob does a lot of singing, isn't there? What's that one?
Child of Mine, is it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of? Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a few clips of that from people that have shared them, and it's a bit more like a song rather than just sort of the odd lyric thrown into a dance tune.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah. And obviously we've had the announcement about 25 and also the release of Lost.
Yeah.
Which I'm enjoying listening to. My favourite bit is the falsetto bit in the bridge. I like that.
Yeah, he's gone for it, hasn't he, with the falsetto?
Yeah.
Sounds really good.
And we've got Eternity, Road to Mandalay and Angels. We've got those versions available now, so you can go and listen to those.
Yes. It's nice to have a little bit of a taster, isn't it? You know, before the actual album comes out.
Yeah. Although sadly Lost didn't really chart when it came out, but it did make number 25 in the download chart in the UK. So I guess that's people like me paying 99p to download it rather than streaming it. And that's what that chart is about.
I've streamed it a lot of times.
Yeah, you have. Yeah. And the announcement that Robbie's playing at Radio 2 Live on Sunday, the 18th of September.
Oh, yes.
Tickets
That was quite a nice, exciting announcement to hear, wasn't it?
Although, of course, the event itself had already been announced with Mark Owen and Ollie Murs already on the bill. Robbie was just added as the headliner for the Sunday. So all the hotels nearby were fully booked already.
Yes.
But we have tickets to go because I'm excited to see Mark, Ollie, and also Howard is DJing in the Radio 2 DJ tent. But I don't think I'll be seeing him because I won't be moving from my position, wherever that may be, to see Robbie.
Well,
Mark and Ollie.
You never know whether you might see them. Are they all there on the same day?
Yeah. So I'm hoping we'll have a reunion.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. It'd be good.
I think they might be interested in doing something.
Yeah, hope so.
That they've got someone missing.
Gary.
You never know. Why you might just helicopter in for the day. It's not far.
Well, he's doing
Who knows where he is?
Different stage show that day. Well, I think he is still on because he's doing a Sunday matinee. So perhaps he could come up in the evening.
Never know.
Yeah.
Well, it could still be Mark and Howard and Robbie.
Yeah. And Ollie.
Ollie.
Let's have Ollie instead of Gary.
You never know what might happen at the Radio 2 Roadshow, as I like to call it. Well, we've got fond memories of going to Radio 1 Roadshow.
Yeah.
You know, that's for younger people when we were young. And now we're going to Radio 2 Roadshow.
Because we're old.
Not that they call it that, but, you know. The UK people understand what that means. But
And then there's been the announcement of Robbie's clothing range with Jay Lindberg, the golf clothing, all pink, all kind of very bright, a bit wacky kind of golf clothing, I'd say. Quite expensive, like all about over £100 for anything.
Oh, right.
Like polo shirts, there's a skirt and a Mac.
Do I suit pink?
Well, it's not all completely
No,
pink.
it's not all
They've
pink.
got some white tops with
I've been known to
pink.
wear a little bit of pink every now and again.
Yeah, you should have a look. You might like some of it, but it's quite expensive.
Don't know. If a polo shirt's over £100, it might be a bit excessive.
Yeah.
But let's see.
And it came out in the Daily Telegraph article that Chris Heath wrote that Robbie is planning on releasing his own clothing range called Hopium, which will be his own artwork with different slogans and expressions and things. So, and one person, I think maybe on one of the Italian Facebook groups, posted a photo of Robbie that they found where he was wearing something in his own garden or, you know, that looked like it could be one of the T-shirts that he's designed. And it did look pretty funky.
Yeah. Well, if it's anything like his funky Picasso-style artwork, then it's going to be pretty funky. I guess
I think it'll be good.
An interesting convergence of two worlds, bringing his art together with fashion.
Yeah. And also maybe sort of lyrics, isn't it? In a way, with the words.
Maybe all those typewritten bits of card and, you know when he used to do the Insta Lives and he used to say, give me something to type and or give me a lyric, and he used to type it on a bit of card and then chuck it on the side.
What's happened to all of them?
Where have all those cards gone? Maybe they'll be, I don't know, who knows?
And then another little thing that happened is that he went to French Fashion Week and was photographed with Kim or V, I'm not sure exactly which name to use, from BTS.
Yes.
And that got him trending everywhere on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Suddenly he was, like trending number 2 or something in the UK in Twitter, which very rarely happens.
Massive. K-pop fans.
Yeah, just because he was photographed with one of BTS.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Didn't I recollect that he also caught a model that was falling over?
Oh yeah, he did.
He was sat at a table and they were kind of walking through the rooms, and one of them was on rather high heels and sort of slipped towards him.
She looked like she kind of was going to land in his lap, and he caught her.
Oh, that was when he was wearing his cape.
Yeah.
Yes, he was wearing his back cape. Yeah. Oh, it was a bit more Dracula, I think.
A bit more Dracula.
Really? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't think I'd get away wearing that.
No.
Well, Halloween maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the roundup of news. We can launch into the episode now, and we're looking forward to seeing some of you in Munich, hopefully next week.
Yes, we're excited about coming to Munich.
And a little special piece of information for those of you who actually listen to the podcast is that maybe next week there might be another special interview coming out.
Yes.
So look out for that. It's not Robbie, don't get that excited. But it's very, very exciting.
Very, very, very special.
Yes.
Coming out next week.
You'll absolutely love it.
Keep an eye on the socials. We'll tell you what it is all about. Those of you in the group might get to find out slightly earlier.
Yeah.
And if you do see us in Munich, come and say hello. One of the days we might have our Robbie Williams Rewind podcast T-shirts on.
Yeah.
And we might be doing, we'll do a few little interviews, talk to a few of you. I know a few of you are coming from a really long way. We'd love to speak to you, get a few sound bites from you.
Yeah.
When we're out and about or in the queue or in the gig. Maybe not when he's singing, but... So, yeah, looking forward to that. More news, I'm sure, to come.
Yeah.
Seems to be doing a lot at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's gone from nothing to everything.
Yeah. I think that's why we had nothing, because they knew there was so much coming up. They created a vacuum.
The vacuum.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Nigel Martin Smith recommended vacuum.
And lots of projects going on right now. So enjoy this episode with
Andreas. Bye.
Bye.
Today we're talking about Robbie's first Under the Radar Volume 1 album. So this is the first in the series. And we're with Andreas from Germany.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello, Matt. Hello, Lucy. Nice to see you.
Yeah. Nice to see you.
Welcome onto the podcast.
Of course, it's a pleasure to be part of the podcast.
Whereabouts in Germany are you from?
I'm actually from Berlin directly. Live here since almost 20 years.
Okay.
Right. And we've met you on a couple of different tours through the years, I think. We've had a few queuing experiences with you. I think maybe most recently was Hyde Park, was it? Or have we seen you since then? I remember the Hyde Park experience.
I think so too. I think Hyde Park was when we recognized each other before, but Hyde Park was kind of that we matching or getting closer to each other, that we chat and get them know better and say,
I think it helped that we had a lovely park and nice grass and trees just to kind of chill out and catch up with everybody. Yeah. We weren't on the side of the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hyde Park, I still speak with Barbara about Hyde Park because it was, like you already said, it was so beautiful and the queue was nice. Everyone was so happy to be there and so pleased that everyone is so helpful and thankful and having each other around. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great concert.
Lovely experience, yeah.
So tell us, how did you become a Robbie fan?
Actually, it started kind of by mistake. I'm a huge fan of pop music, and I already had all Robbie Williams LPs till 2003. I think he released "Sing When You Are Winning." No, he released just Escapology.
Yeah.
And I hear the record up and down, and I was in love with this. And then was the concert in Berlin Wuhlheide, the first one, or the added one, because the other one, the original one, was in the Waldbühne. And I get a really cheap ticket on eBay Kleinanzeigen. So I went there to the concert on the concert day around 12. So actually very late. And I was in the 10th row. And Robbie's coming in by walk and not flying down. And he's coming by, stand there, and I start to cry. And that's how it happens. I don't know why. He just stand in front of me. I never saw him before, and I start to cry. And that was my first Robbie Williams concert. Then I went to Hanover and Krakow on this tour, and now I'm one of the biggest fans in Germany, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And do you have a favorite song or album?
I have a lot of favorite songs. Yeah. Most of them are also already on my body because I love tattoos and they mean so much for me. Actually, my all-time favorite is Angels. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have Angels over here on my ankle. Then I have some Robbie Williams RV letters. Then I have Feel, because what shall I say? It's Feel. Yeah. I have Dear Boy, actually Beer Boy was the first time he recognized me on the tour. I was in London, and he's playing Beer Boy, coming on the B stage, saw me, stand in front of me, and said, "I love you."
Cool.
Nice.
What should I say? Then I have I Come Undone, Eternity, and some lyrics from Buddies. And because we're talking today about Under the Radar, I have also HIS.
Oh, wow. Cool. Amazing.
And to saying HIS is maybe one of the top 3 favorite Robbie Williams songs.
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent. So we picked a good album to talk about then.
Yeah, definitely. I was so happy that when you said Under the Radar 1, I have so many good memories.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy to speak about all this.
Cool. And have you got a favourite memory or moment with Robbie? Because you seem to have quite a few.
It was. I should say it started when he said "I love you."
Yeah.
Then 3 concerts later in Hanover, during Monsoon, he came down and kissed me. Where everything happens. Then it was 2017 on the tour, on the Heavy Entertainment tour.
Yeah.
He said on nearly the same part on Monsoon, "It's my boyfriend." You also know that Robbie always recognizes his favorite fans, and sometimes he just give you a wink or a smile, and he recognizes you and is happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, the most and best moment was on Hyde Park when he was singing "He's the One" instead of "She's the One."
Yeah, that was cool.
I start to cry when I'm seeing this. I don't know why it's so emotional.
Yeah, he dedicated the song to you, didn't he?
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Me up, chose me from the audience, and said, "It's for you."
Yeah, that was cool.
Wow. I remember that. Yeah, it's a special few moments there. Goodness me.
So have you ever met Robbie?
I kind of met him when Take That has their reunion. They been part of the show Echo, the music awards here in Germany, and a friend of mine was casting dancers for the number for Take That. They played what was it, SOS, and actually there was 50. We were 15 dancers. 49 dancers don't care about Take That, and there was me on the rehearsal and everything. I was like going crazy, and after we rehearsed, they said you should wait here because the artist is going over there, and I just ran into Robbie and Ada, and he was really kind and sweet, but I couldn't say anything. I was like yeah, but that's the only time I met him. And actually, I'm not sure if I really want to meet him, to meet him, because, you see him on stage, you see he has a good mood.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to see. I'm afraid if I meet him during a meet and greet and maybe he's in a bad mood or he's not feeling good, you see that he needs to do this. And then I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I want to keep this in memories.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I recognize he's in a good mood, just want to do a nice picture, maybe a hug, and then ask me, can you bring me in front of stage? I didn't want to talk to you. That's maybe how I should be my ideal meet and greet with Robbie Williams.
Yeah. So you didn't go to Vegas then?
No. I think it's nice, and it would be the easiest chance to touch him. Sounds weird, but no. And I need to say it's also kind of unfair that you need to buy the meet and greet to be in the first row. That's something you should add it on your ticket. If you also sit on the balcony, if you want to meet him, pay 500 more and you can meet him, and not just. That's something what I don't really like, but yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be the way things are in Las Vegas, doesn't it?
Yeah. The Las Vegas machine.
Yeah.
But you've been to Vegas, right?
Yeah, we've met him, yeah. We went to Vegas, yeah.
How many shows you saw?
2. It was good.
Do you like the show, actually?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was a really good show. It's very Vegas style. A few swing numbers in there. Amazing production, very small theatre. Huge production, huge Robbie as normal, small theatre. So that was what was a bit weird, because it's like, it just felt special because of that, didn't it? It was every seat was a good seat in there, even if you were sat towards the back. You were, it felt like being right in front of him. I mean, obviously it was quite nice down the front, but we did pay the extra.
I need to ask you something. You've also been already on so many Robbie Williams concerts.
Yeah.
How many concerts you've been not in the first row?
Oh, quite a few.
Yeah, a few.
I think I've been to about 40-ish concerts. Probably half of them not been in the front row.
Also, so half, it's also second half, so in between two people, it's also kind of first row, I would say.
No, because I've done quite a few seated, and I've done quite a few.
We've gone with other
much further
people.
back.
Like we take Lucy's mum with us sometimes, so we'll maybe be seated there. But I think in answer to your question, we've usually been at the front of every tour, and then mostly, but then you might be in another position on another date of that tour. Do you know what I mean? So it's normally how it works.
Yeah.
That's good.
But in the early 2000s, we weren't at the front. I was never at the front then. I was front row for the first concert in 97, and then until 2006, I wasn't front row. So for
interesting,
about 10, 15 concerts, I wasn't at the front.
Yeah.
How or why does it change?
Because I think it's because I persuaded Matt to start queuing with me.
That's the best reason. What should I say?
Yeah.
That's it. Well, she said, you need to start queuing with me, and I need to be at the front because I'm not very tall and I want to be able to see. So that's part of the reason. It's not the only reason, is it? But part of the reason.
Yeah.
I need to ask you something more, because you are a couple, actually. You are married. How is it for you to see the partner enjoying Robbie Williams? Because my partner wants to come also to me to the concert, and I didn't want that he see me going crazy or maybe going emotional, crying when Robbie is in front of me. I didn't want that he see me in this mood. How does it work for you, or is it for you?
It's always been that way, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when Matt
got together.
Yeah, since we got together, Matt's known that I've always loved Robbie, so he comes to expect me to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're.
I don't cry or anything. So
you obviously have an emotional connection, but you don't get into like a dribbling mess, do you?
No.
Like some people do. Like some people just completely lose control. Whereas I've always seen that Lucy's been composed. Maybe sometimes she might not, if he comes near, she might not be able to say anything, but in general she's fairly composed, and we just love enjoying the experience together. I think even the queuing in the early days, it was like, oh, this is something different, getting to know people from around the world like yourself and others, and having a bit of fun mostly, maybe some sleep if we can. So I think that all became part of the experience, didn't it? And but I know that Robbie's the other man in our life, so for Lucy.
But also actually my boyfriend said, should I get maybe kind of jealous? And I said no, because look at you and look at Robbie, and you can also put Robbie naked on my chest. Nothing will happen. Actually, I can swear nothing will happen, but and still I didn't want also that he's maybe 5 rows behind me. I didn't want that he see me jumping, or that we sometimes go crazy just because of the mood of the crowd. I didn't want that he see me doing like this. Maybe you think I'm stupid. You know what I mean?
No, I think he'd enjoy it. I think he'd like to see you enjoying yourself.
Yeah, maybe I should speak with him. Maybe he should join me for Munich.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think sometimes it is difficult to explain the connection that we have with other people, because you've been on so many experiences and you've been, you know, in so many different places, and you've chatted with him on I'm assuming you chat in the chat room when it was available. Yeah, it's hard to explain to people exactly the connection that you develop. It's not just someone on stage, you know, it's a bit more than that.
That's actually also kind of unreal. I'm happy that I can speak with you, because you also have both the connection to Robbie. If I'm telling someone all my experience, they're looking at me like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so,
Hell yeah.
I'm happy that I have Barbara, and she has also the same experience like me, and she has also, we make experience together to speak about. Otherwise, people thinking I'm...
Yeah, people often think that we're nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if people occasionally, you know, I don't know, at a family party or, you know, at a work event or something, someone will ask you about it. And I always think, how much do I say? You know, how do I tell them that I sleep on the side of the street for 3 nights in Stoke to get to the gig? Or, you know, how crazy do they want to think I am? And I think I always look at the person and see how are they receiving it, and are they actually finding it interesting what I'm saying, and then maybe might tell them a little bit more, or are they just being polite? You know, it depends on the person, and a lot of people I've met are quite interested in it all. So yeah,
happy for you.
So
most of them, which I'm speaking about, is being like very polite and changing the topic very fast. I don't know why.
So tell us what Robbie means to you.
If I'm saying a lot, it sounds maybe kind of dramatic, but he means a lot because I have so many Robbie Williams songs on my body. When I was younger, I felt like the lyrics of Robbie's songs, of the most of the songs, I actually like how I felt during this time or for a moment, and so I felt very connected. And I also like sad moments. I have good Robbie Williams music that bring me up and give me a good vibe or motivation. And now Robbie, it's just like, I say always, Robbie is coming on tour or giving a concert where my private battery is low, so I can't charge them during the concert. And then I have time and energy for the next 2 years to take them lower. And then Robbie is back and my energy is loaded.
I like that.
It's so weird because actually you both are the first that asking me what Robbie means to me, but it's also memories, Robbie. I have so many beautiful moments with songs and also people I met during Robbie. Yeah, it's a big part of my life, and probably maybe not the last Robbie Williams tattoo on my body. Maybe more are coming.
Yeah.
Mm.
So if you could ask him one thing, what would you ask him?
Can we do a picture?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no questions because he's also just a normal guy doing his job, enjoying it. And I don't know. Maybe my feet were shaking so much. Maybe I have tears in my eyes. I couldn't say anything. So I would maybe just jump on it and give him a hug. Probably they to take me out, but that could be the conversation we had. I don't know.
So can I have a picture and a hug? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That would be,
that's enough.
I think,
Yeah, that's allowed.
And it's not too much.
I think most people would like to ask him that, to be honest.
Yeah.
No. So everyone who's listening to that podcast, that's my questions. Don't use it. My question.
So any other great memories that you'd like to share? Any other stories that you want to talk about?
Talking about Under the Radar, Robbie was releasing it in 2014 in end of the year. And HIS was the first song, and he was playing it in Paris on the first show. And there's where I met Barbara the first time. So Under the Radar is the time also when Barbara's joining my life, and she's now one of my best friends. And so I have also this connection. Robbie was playing in Paris, HIS. Barbara was next to me. After the Paris concert, I go for the first time to California on a road trip for almost 3 weeks. And I had Under the Radar on my playlist, and I couldn't hear, there was no service for the radio. So I need to listen to all my music I had. So I was listening to Under the Radar up and the whole day almost. And so I get more into this. And so I have also to other songs, so many weird moments and memories, but I can hear the song or just the beginning and know the place where I was hearing it first time, or when it was catching me emotionally.
Yeah.
The first time. So my favorite album is Under the Radar 1. And HIS, I don't know why, just the intro, I get goosebumps. I get already tears in my eyes just hearing the intro. And I'm in love with the song.
Yeah. Well, we'll hear more about the song in a second.
Yeah.
Cool. So should we talk about the album then?
Yeah. Let's start.
Okay.
Are you ready to go, Andreas?
Of course.
Good. Under the Radar, Volume 1. So UTR 1 was announced on rw.com on the 28th of November 2014 and released immediately after on 1st of December, only through Robbie's website. In the announcement video, Rob said, "It's loads and loads of songs that I've written that I'm incredibly passionate about. It's songs that I love to bits and I want you to hear them. Otherwise, they're just going to remain in my computer. Under the Radar Volume 1 is an album for you all, the friendlies and the mentals on rw.com. I also let you into a secret. Guy isn't happy with me putting these songs on this album. He thinks I'm a lunatic for not putting them on an album that's going to be promoted with TV performances and radio station backings and a big tour. I'm an impetuous bugger and I want them out now.
The album cover photo was taken in Mystique about 2 years before. Rob said he signed about 10,000 album covers, which caused his signature to change by the end. The album actually came out the same day as Take That's 3 album was released. But obviously theirs was a proper release.
Would you like to describe the album cover? I mean, I'm sure all our podcast listeners know it, but what is it? What is on the front of the cover, Lucy?
Robbie's bum.
Yes.
He's jumping into a pool in the dark.
Yeah.
And we get a nice view of his back and his bum.
It's quite a distinctive cover.
Definitely one for being sold through the website.
But I need to say the cover's kind of fitting perfectly about the mood of Under the Radar 1, which is sharing with you. I think it's the perfect. He catch with this picture the vibe of the album.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, and we know that he likes going and jumping around naked in places. So he was finally recorded doing it. So what did we think then? I mean, obviously Andreas has said a few words about it being your favourite.
Well, it's actually one of my favourite Robbie albums. Yeah, quite a lot. I will, if I'm thinking, I'll play some Robbie, which is obviously most of the time. I put Under the Radar on. Under the Radar Volume 1.
So it's one of your go-tos.
Yes, definitely. And when it came out, I played it constantly, and I hardly played Take That's album.
So you are also
really enjoying that. Yes, I am. Yeah, but the Take That album didn't really grab me, but Robbie's Under the Radar album, I could not stop playing it. It was amazing, and it still is.
Robbie, what should I say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you are also a Take That fan. There's a kind of fun fact about me. I was a huge Take That fan when they was before Robbie left, I was a huge fan. And I also have, if you can see it here,
Oh, yeah.
I have the
Take
Take
that
That
sign.
The TT.
on my fingers. And during the Take That time, I was a fan of Mark,
Oh.
never of Robbie. I don't know why. It was always Mark. And then it changed to Robbie, and I don't know why.
Oh, I know. Robbie was always my favourite.
They're your two favourites.
But I do love Mark. He's lovely.
Yeah. Actually, now it would be more Jason, but he's not there. But now it's just one person.
Yeah. Well, he is the best.
And obviously, you mentioned a moment ago that this is your favourite, but how did you feel when this was first announced back in 2014? In fact, one day before my birthday, I've noticed.
Yeah.
28th of November. How was it for you hearing that announcement? I mean, we probably already knew at that point, I'm assuming. But
No, I don't think so. I think it was quite sudden.
How did it feel for you, Andreas?
I'm getting more curious because I never hear before that some artist release a music with unofficial songs or songs that are not coming on a record. So I was curious what ad is there. Also, if I'm thinking back to Take a Crown, it's my second favorite album of Robbie Williams because there are so many good vibe music songs. I was curious, maybe there's coming more, because if you hear Take the Crown, you know there must be more songs fitting into this, and now you have Under the Radar 1, and most of the songs are fitting to Take the Crown, in my opinion. So that's the reason I love it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I know when it first came out, when I first heard about it, especially when he said it was for the fans, I was like, yeah, a bit like you. I was like, there aren't many artists that actually do that dip into what could be considered to be personal archives and songs and then actually give them to the fans. That's quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And not many people even do it now. So I think when it first came out, Lucy listened to it a lot more than I did.
Constantly.
A lot more. Like, she just played it non-stop. But at a certain point, and I can't exactly remember when it was, I really started listening to it a lot and I started to get into it. I think it was a few months later before that happened. In fact, you used to listen to it so much, I remember. But now I do love the album. I just love it. And I enjoyed getting to this point in our podcast series because I was like, yes, Under the Radar's coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can understand why Guy was annoyed as well, because there's some really great songs on this album that could have gone onto a proper album and had a proper big release.
Can I be honest at this point? And you can also hate me after this. I need to say the Heavy Entertainment Show, the record, in my opinion, it's one of the worst Robbie Williams record I have. Because it's, for me, something, there's no red line. That's all mixed. And it's not that Robbie, we hear the albums before. It's something new, but it's not fitting for me. There's something missing that it's not catching me. Actually, Love My Life, that's the best Robbie Williams song he could release. But the rest is kind of, it's more fan album, I think, because releasing the Heavy Entertainment Show, it's just fans understand what he's saying. So the intro, it's more like, oh, my hardcore fans understand what I want to say with this. There's no one else like normal people would understand. And also the speed of the song is very showing off. You can't do any TV promotion. They think, what's wrong with this guy? He's getting maybe overacting. And I at this point, I couldn't kind of catch it. It's good for entertainment, for a concert, but not for catching new fans, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also there are too many mixes, like Pretty Woman, and then you have Sensitive, that is like something missing. And maybe that's also, Guy was kind of not happy that Robbie will release songs he maybe is not so much involved, and these kind of songs getting bigger than the songs they maybe already planned, you know? Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am researching Heavy Entertainment Show album at the moment, and I have noticed that there's a lot of co-writers on all the songs because, you know, he's worked with so many different people on that album.
Yeah.
You know, there's Ed Sheeran, and then there's Brandon Flowers, and, you know, there's not like a straight line running through it like there is for Take the Crown when it's just Tim and Flynn and Gary Barlow, and that was it. So, you know, I see what you're saying. It's kind of a different mix on Heavy Entertainment Show.
And that's something I really miss. I want to hear a record, maybe new sound, but it should be kind of catching me and giving me a mood. Robbie, the entertainment show, it was like here and then, and you can hear it once during cleaning the apartment or something, but then it's getting kind of, because it's too mixed, I want to have 2 or 3 songs kind of the same and creating a world around me. And I think for me, Under the Radar 1 has this thing. They're creating something. You have some special songs in between, but then you go back to the main red line. And
I seem to remember us having discussions at the time about, because I was surprised that he did it. I was pleased that he did it, but yeah, I think at the time Rob was getting frustrated with the music industry. I mean, you know, we know that he's always had things to say about how, you know, certain things in the music industry are manipulated and twisted and controlled. And I think, you know, by guys potentially saying, I don't think this is a good idea, it probably spurred him to do it even more, because, you know, I think he doesn't like being controlled or kind of told what to do. And he was going to release his album with his songs and, you know, put it direct to the fans through the website. For him, that was the right thing to do, wasn't it? He didn't want anybody getting involved saying, don't put that on there, don't put this on there. You know, he'd had a lifetime of that to that point. And I think, we all know that he's got hundreds of songs on his computer that he hasn't released. So he's got loads of material that we haven't heard. Yeah. So it's good that we get to hear at least some of it, not just on Insta Lives, actually, you know, properly produced and put onto an album. So
you said that he's happy to release the songs which are unreleased. You can see it, the promotion or the advertising he was doing on social media about Under the Radar 1, 2, 3. He was so passionate and he really enjoyed it. It was kind of happy to share it with the world. I think that kind of feeling I never had on the Heavy Entertainment Show, the album. You know, it was kind of, I need to do this because it's my contract. But here, guys, that's my big treasures. I want to share with you. And you see the sparkling in his eyes and the excitement to get the feedback about the songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So shall we move on to the first track?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So the first track is Bully, written by Rob, Tim and Flynn in Australia during the Swing Tour. It was produced by Tim and Flynn. Bully was released for free to fans on the 1st of December as part of Cafe Royale's first TV advert, as part of their In the Service of Good Taste campaign. Rob sung it at the Cafe Royale launch and told everyone that it was available to download from his website.
In the track by track, Rob said, "There's a song on the new U2 album, The Miracle of Joey Ramone, that says I've got music so I can exaggerate my pain. And this particular song, I've got music so I can exaggerate what I'd like to do to some people that I really dislike. And this song lyrically is obviously taking anything that I would actually physically do a lot further. But it's fun to be able to be that much of a badass in this lyric." So what do we think of Bully? Do you want to go first, Andreas?
What should I say about Bully? like you already said in your description, how the song arrived on Earth. For me, it's too much swing in this song.
Oh.
Or is it swing? Yeah, kind of swing. There's something that don't get me. I don't know why. It's a too heavy beginning.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it's also too dark for me that I can't really enjoy it because of the kind of main choir in the beginning. I mean, it makes me
That bit is that bit.
Yeah. It's quite dark, isn't it?
need to say it's one of my least favorite songs.
Yeah, same. It's one of my least favourites on the album as well.
I wish the album didn't start with it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great creative piece of work in its own right, because I understand that the song is supposed to be a bit down, a bit dour, because it is about bullies, and but it doesn't start the right album off in the right tone, really. The next song, however, which we'll come on to,
Yeah.
I love, and that should have been first. But I mean, is it a song about getting rid of bullies, do you think?
Yeah, he's basically saying that he wants to kill the bullies, isn't he? Kill the bully.
Yeah, and then as Andreas says, there's that ooh ah at the beginning, followed by some very classic whistling, as far as I remember. You know,
I think it's the ooh ah bits, and then there's like a sound of a gun cocking trigger kind of sound, and like a gunshot noise, which I think is actually from drums. I don't think it's an actual gunshot. But,
Sounds like.
Yeah, but it's quite
I
clever.
heard you listening to it on repeat the other day, trying to work that out. Were you? I thought I heard you listening to that.
Yeah,
that gun
maybe.
piece.
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a clever song, and it has got some good lines in it. I like. I simply don't care if you hate me or love me. Pass me the pistol. Shoot the bully. Look at you walking round like you're some kind of genius. I like that bit, and I like the way he sings that line as well. But yeah, it's not my favourite on the album, and I also said I'm not sure it's a great opening track.
I agree. Well, I think it's difficult to listen to. I can understand, Andreas, why you say what you say, because it's a difficult one to listen to right at the beginning of the album, mainly due to the subject matter, but also because it does pull you down a little bit, I think, the song. And I have been known, while we've been doing the research, while I've been listening to it in the shower and stuff, have been known to start with the second track.
I've noticed that. I think
well, I'm going to be honest.
I thought this morning he's only just got in the shower. How come he's already on the second
Well,
song?
yeah, I do quite often start on Raver rather than Bully, but I will listen to it. But sometimes it's like, it's first thing in the morning. I'm getting in the shower. I want something uplifting, so I go to track 2.
Yeah,
there you go. It has got a couple of interesting lyrics. Never test the temper of a patient man.
Yeah,
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm very patient.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And then see the heart of the champion through the eye of the tiger.
Yeah, that is a good
Obviously,
line.
you know I like that one.
Yes.
Anything where the word champion pops up,
But I do quite like his deep, kind of rough voice in it, though.
Yeah, it is. It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a positive about it.
And I think also the sound, how his voice sounds on the song, reminds me on the first Robbie Williams album. What was the name? I have a blackout.
Life Through a Lens?
Yeah. It sounds a little bit like his voice on this, because his voice changed during the years.
Mm-hmm.
But on this track, it sounds a little bit like the early Robbie Williams.
Yeah, yeah.
It's quite low and gravelly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've all said what we need to say about that one.
Yeah, let's go on to Raver.
Raver, yes.
So written by Rob, Tim and Flynn, and produced by Tim and Flynn again. Rob said, I didn't make the original Summer of Love, which was 88, 89, but I managed to be there for the Autumn of Love, which was 1990. I was at school, or otherwise I'd have been there. I remember Faye Birkin, who used to be one of my classmates. Ladies develop more quickly than boys. She'd got a grown-up boyfriend that I think took her to a rave in Blackpool, and she brought back a flyer and it was psychedelic, and it just lodged in my mind as something that I immediately needed to do, which was go to a rave and do whatever they were doing. This song is an ode to Shelley's in Stoke, Cream in Liverpool, Hacienda in Manchester, Miss Moneypenny's in Birmingham. Lyrically, probably not the best ode to my drug enthusiasm and rave enthusiasm, but I think emotionally it will take you there.
Rob confirmed on chat that Shit on the Radio stemmed from Raver. They felt that Raver wasn't good enough to be on Take the Crown, so Jackknife Lee turned the middle eight from Raver into its own song, Shit on the Radio, and Rob sung it at the Under the Radar gig.
Raver, that is, of course, not
Raver.
Shit on the Radio. Yeah,
Yeah,
Just to be clear.
I was very pleased that he sung Raver at the Under the Radar gig.
Oh my God, it was the best. Were you at the Under the Radar? Oh, you were at Under the Radar, weren't you?
Yes.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
It was so good.
That song at that
good.
concert was, oh, yeah. It's an absolute tune. That's what I've written down.
Yeah.
I think,
The chorus is banging.
definitely. And I think Raver, he can also playing during a tour, and the non-Robbie Williams fans will still love it and will dance. Because it's so groovy and so catchy. You didn't need to know what he's singing, but you just start, and also what you said, it's like an end of summer romance love song.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying it, I can say, yes, I agree, 100%. It fits so good. And actually, my favorite lyric is the bridge: one scream for the last romantic, one heart for the last romantic. I know it's super cheesy, but I love it. I don't know why I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's one of my fave songs from Rob. I mean, I've got many, but this one goes into that top something or other. There's something about this track that really resonates with me. And it's not that I was like an illegal raver back in the day, because I wasn't really, but I did go to my fair share of parties and nightclubs, and more than I do now. And there's something about, there's something about the song that just I connect with. And there's something really energizing about there's like a synth sound at the beginning, the keys, and then the drum kicking in just before his vocals. It's just something like, it's Raver's coming.
Yeah.
And like we said, I just remember it absolutely going off in Camden at the Under the Radar gig. It had that like little start, and then suddenly everyone just started jumping and absolutely going for it. He was jumping, he was going for it. He could see it was going down well, and I think it just got better and better. So I'm so pleased that he sang it there. And then I think it was the Christmas after that, I had a little Instagram chat with him as he was signing his Christmas present albums, and he was Instagramming lots and lots of people. And he asked me, so what was your favourite track from Under the Radar? And I was like, and I had the set, we managed to get a set list, and I had the set list on the side, and I was like, I just had memory block. I couldn't remember any tunes at all, like none, when he asked me. And then I looked down that list, I was like, Raver. And he went, yeah, mine too. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's a classic, and I love the line. The DJ said, "Raver, get off the speaker. You're blocking the laser for the dance off," and you just can't help singing along to "I ran away with the runaways who run away." Repeat. I go out dancing, raving with strangers, unwound emotion on the dance floor. That's good. That's a good line.
Yeah.
And then, as we said in the description, I think it's also notable that he uses the line, "We're the shit that's on the radio." And I think we've heard him talk about this before. When he refers to the shit here, I think he's referring to it as a good thing, like the shit, the shit, rather than shit being a bad thing. It's the shit, like the cool thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love it. I could go on and on, but I'll pass to you, Lucy.
Okay. Yeah, I just love how it starts out gently, and then the beat kicks in, and then the lyrics start out quite calmly, and then it continues to build until he says, "The DJ said, Raver, get off the speaker. You're blocking the laser." He says laser in a funny way for the dance off. And then suddenly it kicks in, and it like really, it hits you, doesn't it? Amazing.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, I do. And then I remember at the gig, I think it was Angela, who from our Progress episode, she had some glow sticks.
That's right.
And so she got out these glow sticks and handed them around, just everyone around her. And we were waving these glow sticks during that song. It was so cool. That was good. Didn't even know she had them. She just brought them out. And I love, like you said, Andreas, that one scream for the last romantic, one heart for the last romantic. There's something about the way he delivers those lines.
Yeah.
It really hits you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of someone is whispering you something in your ear, just on a gentle way, that you're like sitting on a bench having a nice view, and someone's coming from behind and saying something nice, and you have this nice sunset, a little bit breezy, and it's this bridge is also kind of the beginning. It's very low with the music, and it's in between, and then it's going back high with the energy. I love this part because it's so unexpected.
Yeah, it's great. And also I noticed that it has got backing vocals from Dinosh and Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
Guitar by Tom and the horns by the Horns. So I'm sure that when they played this at the gig, they all enjoyed doing it live as well, because they were all part of the actual recording as well.
Of course.
And I also agree with Andreas. I think if this was played in any other context, I mean, I doubt he will, I don't know, but I think if it was played in any other context, it would go down really well. If people heard it a couple of times, they'd be like, yeah, that's a catchy track, like that. So, but yeah, probably mostly for the fans still at the moment.
And I think that this song should have been on Take the Crown instead of Shit on the Radio.
Aha.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes. Good idea.
Yeah. That's my opinion.
But also more songs from Under the Radar should be on Take the Crown and Just Changing. And to be honest, some songs from Under the Radar, Just Change, Take the Crown will be much, much bigger. I would say. It's just my opinion.
Yeah. They obviously had so many good songs, they just couldn't pick.
Yeah.
Maybe he will work with both guys again in the future.
He is working with them.
Yeah, he is. He often is working on projects with them, and you see him with them. So they're obviously at Stoke with him.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get more great music from the three of them.
Yeah, they're a power trio, I think. Power combination.
So let's go on to HES.
Yeah.
Written by Rob, produced by Witness, but it's spelled WTNSS in capital letters. Witness is Bradley Spence, who has worked with Jamiroquai, Mark Owen and Passenger, as well as Charlie Russell, who has worked with Kasabian, Alt J, Jake Bugg and The Stripes, and they both worked with Trevor Horn at Psalm Studios. So that's who Witness is. Rob said, Bruce Springsteen's a bit good. I listened to his album Wrecking Ball and instantly wanted to make a song like his songs on Wrecking Ball. So this is my ode to Bruce Springsteen, of which I've had a few already. But the HES is life. The HES is everyday activities, mundane activities, walking down the road, seeing cars and people, watching the news, interacting with friends. It's also Public Image Limited. Rise is a song that I love. So it's Bruce meets PIL. Lyrically, it's just about life being the HES. We are the universe expressing ourselves as a human being for 18 plus years, if you're lucky, and that's the HES.
There was a social media campaign before the Let Me Entertain You tour to encourage Rob to sing something from this album on the tour, but he confirmed a week before that he wouldn't be. He did sing HES one night in Paris, but didn't feel comfortable because only the mentals at the front knew it.
Like Andreas and Barbara.
I'm sure you enjoyed it.
Of course.
Tim asked him to do it, so he said he'd do it with him when Tim came to see the show. He said it's terrible to only sing songs 20 people know. It scared me. People don't like hearing new stuff. They want hits. It's only possible in the most intimate gigs. Rob has also sung it live at the dress rehearsal in Manchester in 2017, as well as at the Under the Radar gig in 2019. This song played as a backing track before Born Slippy, just before Rob came on stage at the Port Vale gig. So it was there.
Yeah, but he wasn't singing it live. So, Andreas, I know you love this song. Would you like to go first and tell us why you love it?
Why I love it? Because I think it's something completely new, what he never done before in this kind of way. Now that you're saying that he was kind of inspired by Bruce Springsteen, you can hear it. Now that when you're thinking of Bruce Springsteen, you can kind of hear it. I don't know. It's just you can love it or you can hate it. That's what the song is for me, and I love it because there's also kind of positivity, and it gives you also kind of that something that kick your ass and take your life and enjoy it. Exactly what you already said. It gives me just a good mood. I get goosebumps. I get happy tears. Memories coming up. It's a song I can hear also in 10 years, and I still will have the same feeling. That actually not often happens with songs.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that it's purely written by Rob. Like, normally he has a co-writer, but only Rob wrote it.
Yeah.
And we all love it so much. You know, all the friendlies and mentors absolutely love this song. So wonder what other gems he's got up his sleeve that just he's written himself.
But also maybe the friendlies knowing Robbie kind of very well because of the concert, and you can see his mood and the way he's talking to the friendlies. It's also kind of the way or the language he used in the song. So maybe that's why the friendlies loving the song, because it's kind of the same language he's speaking. Because if you have co-writers, it never can be the same language Robbie will ever use. He can say something and then change it, but it's what he's written, it's written by him. And so it's the meaning behind it's stronger, maybe. It's just an idea, but for me it works, kind of.
Yeah. And we've heard Rob say this time and time again over the years about people not liking new songs. I'm not sure that's 100% true. Like, I think I can understand why he's nervous and paranoid about the kind of more hits fans wanting the hits. And that's true, they do. I think most people are tolerant to hearing new material.
Yeah.
I guess the hits fans don't want a complete gig of new material, but they will listen.
Yeah.
But obviously he tried it and didn't feel comfortable with it. So, but I can understand that when you sing something for the first time, people don't know how to react. They don't know how to move, dance, clap. It's like they're hearing it for the first time. I guess it's like anything. When you hear something for the first time, you're in a different mood and a different behaviour as you are when you hear it the second time or the third time or the fourth time. But anyway, I just thought I'd say that because I think he could play a bit more new music.
Yeah.
But he squeezed it in at Port Vale without actually having to do it. So,
yeah. So, Matt, do you like HES?
Yeah. Obviously not to be confused with the Heavy Entertainment Show, as we've talked about. But for those fans those people that might be learning about Robbie that haven't listened to this before, but it sounds a bit like a church organ at the beginning of this one. There's like a bit of a church sort of feel. And I guess for some non-native speakers that might not know this, another silly Matt factoid, Heavy Entertainment is a play on words of light entertainment show. So someone might say that a daytime TV show is, like light entertainment. Robbie obviously wants heavy entertainment, and I thought that was a good play on words.
Yeah.
And then a couple of fave lyrics. There's trouble calling out of that rubble. The whole world is in a bubble, I swear, and the shit that you have fed is in your head.
Yeah, great line.
Very profound line.
I like, lost my mind a while ago, when or where I do not know. We are living in a world of lies. That's what I like.
Also remember to see the world through teaching eyes. That gets said a couple of times, doesn't it?
My
think-
favorite lyrics
yeah.
are, I've got 2 tickets. Would you like to go to the heavy entertainment show? I don't know why. They are so catchy.
Yeah,
That's so...
yeah, you're right. It's a great one.
Yeah,
Because that's one that we all kind of shout out, isn't it?
yeah.
A couple of times that he has sung it.
And just thinking, this could be one of official Robbie Williams songs. And everyone will know this lyric. And during a concert, this lyric is coming, the music goes down, and everyone will scream this lyric.
Yeah.
It would be insane.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's never going to happen, sadly.
So, Lucy, what do you think about it?
I think it's another anthem. I love the way it starts, the brothers. It just, it gets me every time. I think, Andreas, you said that. It just, the way it starts, it just immediately just grabs you.
Yeah.
And it's just really rousing. It makes you want to sing along. I love that, ooh, those bits that everyone sings along to in the crowd as well, and makes like the backing vocals up along to it. Hey, good looking, why don't you come over here? Tell me a few things that I want to hear. You can come and whisper them inside of my ear. Just, I like that bit. That's the bridge, I think. Yeah, I just think it's a great song. Should we talk about the video then?
I just watched the video before we starting to podcast the podcast, and I don't know why. It's the first time it came into my mind. It looks like Robbie is a fallen angel, just falling down from heaven, and he needs to kind of connect with the world. I never had that thinking about this video, but I'm just watching it today, and it just came into my mind. It's a falling angel.
Yeah, he does look a bit like that, doesn't he? He's sort of just wandering around, like, what is this place?
Yeah.
And also his makeup, it's kind of, it looks like wings and also crying, so it was kind of...
Yeah.
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 So the video was directed by Greg Williams, a world-renowned photographer who's also the official James Bond and BAFTA photographer. He's shot all the A-list stars. When Rob was asked how he managed to film the HES video in the supermarket, he responded that they were doing a photo shoot, probably for the Let Me Entertain You tour promo shots, judging by the makeup. And at the end of the day, they squeezed the video in too.
So, yeah, it seems as though they just decided to go out and do it, from what he said.
Yeah, it looks quite impromptu.
But I guess they would have had to have all the equipment. But yeah, I mean, I love it. It's so funny.
Well, you say all the equipment. I mean, it's a strap-on camera that's got in front of him, which Rob loves looking at the camera, right? He loves playing to the camera. So to have a camera in a fixed position permanently on his face, I think I could just see the look of joy in his face when he was filming that video. Just liked having it right there. And I think I caught the name of the supermarket. Was it Smart and Final?
Yeah.
Whoever's
Never heard of it.
Probably in the US, people know what that means, but it looked like the Smart and Final mart or supermarket or something. But it was, yeah. Sorry, Andreas, what did you think?
But you can see, like we said before, you can see the joy that he has.
Yeah.
Doing something which is maybe not saying by the record company, you need to do this song.
Yeah.
He wants to, and you see the joy, and also kind of, maybe that's the Robbie he actually wants to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, now that we are speaking about, maybe there's a picture, a frame the record company wants to have around him, and there's also a picture he wants to be like an artist. And Under the Radar one, it's, like I said, perfect record, and the music video is something he never done before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe this video. I don't know. There are some music videos I think, okay, it's nice, but not so matching to the Robbie Williams from the concert, but this video HIS is so, it matched completely with everything.
Yeah. I find it fascinating that you don't see any other shoppers in the background. They've obviously edited it cleverly, made sure they didn't get anyone else in.
You said the producer or the director?
I think that's the director. You can see, obviously people who are part of his team. You can see, yeah. I'd love it.
Yeah, it's a fun video. I think he had a feeling of freedom and just, could just do what he wanted. As you said, Andreas, I don't think anybody was telling him what to do. It's just like, go and lip sync to that song and we'll record it on that camera that's strapped to your waist. Off you go, perform.
So let's go on to The Edge.
Yes. So written by Rob, Guy and Chris Heath, it was produced by Guy and Richard Flack. In the track by track, Rob joked that The Edge is about me having an affair with the guitarist from U2 with a completely deadpan face. Which of course it's not. Well, I don't know. I don't think it is.
I'm sure it's not, no.
It's just Rob making up an answer. Yeah, I'm sure he said that in a few interviews.
You can tell it's written with Guy. It definitely has a Guy feel to it, doesn't it?
Does.
The piano, the beautiful piano in the background. I feel like the piano you could almost hear it in a film soundtrack or something. It's got like an ethereal feel to it. Yeah, absolutely stunning lyrics. I've written down quite a few. I used to wander to the edge and look down. I used to pile up promises, then leave town. You should have heard my best excuses, so profound and untrue. But now I wake up next to you. I mean, obviously it's all about Ida.
Yeah.
And it's so heartfelt. It's just beautiful. It's obviously not about the edge from U2.
No.
But it's a good joke. It's like, I guess it's about him before meeting Ida, sleeping with loads of women, depression, the nights going on. And now that he's got Ida, the nights still last forever, but he wakes up next to her, so it's all good. Yeah. And
also the way the sound of his voice in the first lyrics, it's kind of, he has that pain.
Yeah.
Or it hurts a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then during the first lyrics, it changed because then next to you, and then you can feel or you can hear the joy that he has you.
Yeah.
From the pain, you see it going up and to the edge, and there's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's also one of his best songs. It's one of a really huge ballad. And I still think you can hear it also in summer, in the radio, in the car, windows down, and everyone's kind of shaking their head or making some noise.
Yeah.
I don't know the English word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, humming along.
Yeah. It's a very catchy song.
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I agree with both of you. I mean, it's just a beautiful song about Ida. I think it really captures how Ida does help to keep Rob away from the edge. And I think it's a very honest and very vulnerable song. We all know Rob is good at, showing his vulnerability. And, he's kind of bearing his heart and soul on this track, really. Yeah. It's so candid and open and honest. It's a really lovely track. I really enjoy hearing it when it comes on. And I've got loads of fave lines. Thought all of those who swear by love, they were mental through and through, but now wake up next to you. I know you said that one already, but I love it. I had to lose myself for years to find this, mistook the cruelty and abuse for kindness, didn't know yet what to keep zipped shut. My own blindness stole the view, but now wake up next to you.
Yeah. I love that. My own blindness stole the view.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's clever songwriting. And I also love the play on words from Where Did It All Go Wrong to Rob's lyrics of Where Did It All Go Right?
Yeah.
Where did it all go right? I love that. I think it's just really clever. Mm-hmm. You can hear the emotion in Rob's voice when he sings it, totally And I don't think the vocal's been overproduced either. You know, there's a rawness, as you said, Andreas. You can really feel it. There's a rawness on the track. It's not been tweaked too much. It just, I think his vocal's just incredible on it. Yeah.
Good.
So, should we move on to All Climb On?
Yeah, okay.
So this was written by Rob, Guy and Chris Heath and produced by Guy and Richard Flack. All Climb On was written in January 2013 while they were writing the Swing album in LA.
Rob said, All Climb On, it would seem, is a friendly mental favourite. I've been reading the forums and I've seen the comments under it on YouTube. It's a sort of message to myself because I can emotionally and physically give up. And it's quite a frightening place to be when you decide you've given up. Hasn't happened for a long time and I don't think it will. But just in case, this is a message in a bottle to say no, climb on. This is one of my all-time favourite Robbie songs. I love it.
In the top
10, I reckon.
10?
Yeah. The top 10 that I've never actually written down.
The notional top 10.
Yeah. It's just, I just absolutely love it. I love everything about it. I love the lyrics. I love the sound. And if it's not too morbid, I'd like this song at my funeral, which I have told Matt before.
Is it written in the will?
No,
oh, okay.
But I've told you and I expect you to remember.
Now it's on the podcast forever. I'll never forget it. So All Climb On. Okay.
Because although it's got sad parts in it, it's really uplifting, this song. It just really speaks to me. Yeah, it's just incredible. And the truth is we don't know about how or why or where or when we go. Oh, we must be very brave. I came here for eternity. It took my breath away. I was told I couldn't stay. I just love the tone of his voice. And also it reminds me of Rob telling people on Instagram Live that if you don't feel confident, you just need to be brave. And that's how he gets through things.
Yeah.
Just love that.
It's very personal. And you
Yes.
feel connected because you hear the truth. It's not that it's like a story someone was writing for him, which you need to for better promotion. It's like you hear that it's matching with everything. And I think also All Climb On, before you said when the writing was, is I could say All Climb On could be also on a new record, because with the big orchestra and a little bit lower his voice, I think you get so fast goosebumps and tears in your eyes, which you already kind of get in this version. It would be crazy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. God, if they put this on XXV with a full-on orchestra, God, that would be out of this world, wouldn't it?
That would be the next level of Robbie Williams kind of love songs, because that's something unexpected and really something new, I would say.
Yeah. In the end, no matter what, I'm going to make the most of what precious time I've got. From the cradle to the grave, to take those opportunities, I must be very brave. Yeah. I think that everyone should live by those words.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Definitely.
Yeah. Which is why I want that at my funeral. So that's my message to the people that are still living. You must be very brave and take all the opportunities.
Yeah.
That's true.
Profound, Lucy, profound.
Yes.
And we'll make sure. Well, if I'm around, I'll play it at your funeral. I might be gone before you, so someone else might have to take care of that. But we'll make sure that everyone knows. I love the rousing. Whoa! I love that bit at the beginning, and I needed to remind myself about it so that I could get it right. That's just that ding, 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 ding on the piano. Whoa! It's just what are we climbing onto? Him?
Just climbing up.
We're just climbing. We're not climbing onto him. We're just climbing on.
Just climbing on.
Oh, climbing
life.
on and on.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So, and as you said, I think it's a song about living life to the full, and It's got some very profound lyrics and meaning in this one, especially this verse, which I don't think you said. And the truth is, we don't know. Oh yeah, you did. You've done that
sorry.
one. Oh, you stole all my fave lyrics again.
Sorry.
Yeah. What else? Hang on. And the
I've stolen that one as well.
Stolen that one as well. Right. Okay. Matt moves on to the next note. Okay. Here's something you haven't said. It is your favourite song. One of your favourite songs. Also mentions soul transmission in this verse. Yeah. It's my soul transmission, a higher calling. Call it love. Climb on. All my life, these visions telling me to keep fighting. Climb on. Yeah. Soul transmission. There we go.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I love it.
Andreas, do you have anything more to say on All Climb On?
No. I never skipped All Climb On because it's I think it's after having this good vibe songs, All Climb On, you have time to calm down, and then I love it. It's the perfect place on the record, so it's a perfect position. I never skip it.
Yeah.
It's good. I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice, uplifting, inspirational song, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what everybody needs to listen to.
Oh, one thing I did notice, it sounds similar to Michael Jackson's Will You Be There? So if you go and listen to that and listen to this song after each other, it sounds a bit similar. No, they're not saying that Robbie's copied it or anything. It's just got a same sort of vibe about it. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So, shall we move on to Surrender?
Yeah.
So this was written by Rob, Tim and Flynn and produced by Tim and Flynn.
Okay. Rob explained, so Surrender and Green Light should have been on Take the Crown album, but we ran out of time. In hindsight, I'd take Hey Wow Wow off, I'd put Reverse on the album proper, and I would maybe take Shit on the Radio off and put Green Light on. Surrender was always the big hope in the early days of writing Take the Crown. It was always, oh, at least we've got Surrender. But lyrically, I just couldn't make it sit right with me. Originally, the lyric was, when you feel like hope is gone, there's no need to soldier on. Surrender, lay down and surrender, my love. But it just didn't feel right for some reason. I actually sent it to Michael Stipe from R.E.M., who wrote a lyric for it, a lovely lyric, but it obviously wasn't my words, so it didn't quite go. Thank you very much, Michael Stipe. God bless you for even giving me the time of day. Neil Hannon from the Divine Comedy had a go at this song, and the same sort of thing. And I thought it was so big and it was going to be the first single. I was wrong. I changed the lyric from surrender, lay down and surrender. I changed it to don't surrender, don't you ever surrender. But I think there's a beauty in the first version, surrender, and I'm not talking about actually giving up. Just surrender with giving too much of a fuck and finding a bit of peace with the surrender and the serenity. But now it's an anthem for never giving up, so don't. So there you go, it was a very long quote.
Yeah.
From the track by track. But I thought it was interesting.
What do you think about Surrender, Andreas?
Like you just said, it's a motivation song just to survive and also kind of give you a good mood. Even if the song sounds a little bit kind of sad, it gives you go out and make the best out of your life. I like Surrender. Can't complain. But it's like he said now, for me it's sad that it's not on Take the Crown because it should be a song for the big audience. Everyone should know the song.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has a real Tim and Flynn feel to it, doesn't it?
So much. I don't know why, but
it does.
Both of them and Robbie together making, for me, the best Robbie songs since a while. I don't know, it's something new and it's matching for me so much on Robbie, which he wants to be, that it's, if he would ask me, I would say go back to both of them and you will make music you really enjoy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt, of Surrender?
Well, it's got a very dreamy opening with the piano and the synth, and what I think might be a little hint of saxophone at the beginning. I don't know whether you picked that up. Yeah, as you said, it's a song about not surrendering even when things are tough and against you. I like the fact that the lovely Dinosh Bennett did the backing vocals on this track, along with Tim Metcalf. I saw that on one of the credits. It's another one of those that you have to sing along to. And then favourite lyrics, when you feel like hope is gone and there's no need to soldier on, no surrender. No, don't you surrender, my love, because you're not here for very long. So when you leave, go with a song, no surrender. Let it be no surrender, my love. I like that.
Very nice. I like, and I'll be kind, but I won't be cheap. There is no limit here for me. I'm taking everything I need. And also those lyrics were sort of used on Hunting for You, on Take the Crown as well. On that one it says, I'll be good, but I won't be cheap. There is no limit here for me, and I'll take everything I need. So, little factoid there.
Yeah.
I love his voice on this. It's all kind of deep and raspy. And I love the chorus. Treat me like a king, kiss me like a stranger.
So good. What I really like on most of the songs they are doing together, you have the bridges, which always kind of sounding similar, but not the right. But you are not. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you said, treat me like a king. It was also One Scream for the Last Romantic. It's something which makes the song a little bit more unique and outstanding, but it gives also a lot of power. So I like to have these kind of bridges in the songs.
Yes. Well, it's funny you say that, Andreas, because that's exactly what I just wrote as well. I wrote that, let's see, the bridges that Tim and Flynn write stand out compared to the rest of the song, like on Raver and on this song. So yeah, I wrote that exact same thing. Interesting.
And I think having these bridges makes the songs a little bit more catchy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got these little bits that sort of stick in your head, haven't they?
Yeah. Very much so.
There's just too many good songs, isn't there? They couldn't put them all on Take the Crown, so we're lucky that we've got Under the Radar.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to Love Is You. Written by Rob and Jerry Meehan, produced by Jerry. Rob said, Love Is You is a deeply personal song about which I can't say much, because I think it should be interpreted however the listener wants to hear it, and also saves me the embarrassment of revealing what it's actually about. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Mystery.
It's a beautiful song. I love the chorus, the simple piano and strings. There's a viola, a violin, a cello, all arranged by Jerry. I think they're really effective and make it feel really earnest. And the drums don't kick in until the second verse, which is interesting. Guitar by Gary Nuttall and Neil Taylor. What Rob said about it is really intriguing. Makes you really want to know what it's about, doesn't it?
Clever, isn't it?
I'm wondering whether it's about a friend, maybe, I don't know. And that's why he doesn't want to talk about it, because he doesn't want to talk about loving a friend, or I don't know.
Deeply personal.
Yeah. But, it's a great song. It's really, really beautiful. And what I should have said was nothing. Kept it swept under the rug. You know what's mad is I'm in pain because I made you sad, and you still don't understand at all. Yeah, it's just beautiful. I love it. What do you think, Andreas?
Like you already said, it's so simple, but it's so much love and pain and respect for this person who you sing the song. It's so good. And like you're already thinking about who is you. Maybe it's his mother. He disappointed her, or maybe
Yeah,
maybe
that's a
he's
good
also
idea.
get disappointed by someone he kind of starting to like, and it's also having friendships. It's also love, and getting disappointed or hurt by a friend. It's also, I think there's a big range who could be, but that's the reason I really like that it's so plain and so simple that you can't think, okay, it's going very, it sounds rough, so it could be a man. It's a little bit more soft, or it could be a woman. So it's simple, plain, and I love it.
Yeah.
Love Is You is a really good love song.
Yeah, it really is.
As you said that, I had a bit of an insight, which may be completely stupid, but I think it's about a male friend. I don't know. As you were saying that, I just reread the lyrics, and I think it is a love song of sorts, but I think it's not. I think it's more like platonic love than love. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just read through it, and it's as if there's been some kind of breakup of friendship and misunderstanding of someone that's really deeply connected. I don't know. That's just possibly my theory. I only came up with that on the spot. I have no evidence for that. But I think it's a really beautiful love song. It starts off really simply with the piano and Rob's vocals. Yeah, and I don't know. I think you two have said it all, really.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful song.
I mean, possibly it could be about Guy, maybe, from, written a long time ago when they weren't getting on at that time. Obviously, they do now. I don't know, it's just a thought.
Yeah. Probably one of those things where it's probably better that we don't know.
Yes.
Because it just keeps the intrigue going.
But what I kind of like that you and I, we are completely different. So we are not German. We have different backgrounds, English, Germany, but we have all kind of the same inspiration and thinking kind of. And I think that's really nice to see that, or how artists bring people together and thinking kind of the same. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a shared experience and a shared language almost. Yeah.
That's because how often you have that you can meet people, or you will meet people from other countries. So you have another impact, and they're connecting with something and have the same thinking about it. So raw to meet people like this. And it's nice to see now that we are talking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Robbie does.
Yeah, he does.
Brings people together from around the world who otherwise would never have met.
Creates joy in the world, as I told him once. Keep doing it. So, shall we talk about The Cure?
Yeah.
So this was written by Rob, Guy and Chris Heath. Produced by Guy and Richard Flack. In Reveal, Chris Heath details its writing in January 2014 and the conversation that ensued between Rob and Guy. We'll relay that to you now, with Matt being Guy and Lucy being Rob.
Shall we have it be about the 90s?
Which part?
The part where I win.
How about your first date with Ida?
Oh, yeah.
And the conversation, a real conversational song. What was said?
Rob starts singing, I felt revolting, and said, it wasn't a very positive evening, to be honest with you.
Guy replied, can you remember the conversation and how it went?
Yeah, it didn't start off good. I was dropping her off back at a party.
Just recount the story really simply. Shall we do that? Shall we see where it leads us?
So Rob begins, you turned up drunk, I was too, in a way, but not like you. I took you back from whence you came. He says, we broke up 3 times. I just found that.
So that's the short form of the story, is it?
Yeah, basically that's what Chris Heath said. That's how this story started. That's how this song started, with Guy trying to get Robbie to talk about his first date with Ida, and Robbie just basically saying it didn't go very well.
In the track by track, Rob said, The Cure is a song written about Ida. I think it would have fitted on Reality Killed the Video star really well. How I weigh this one up going forward about why it won't go on the next album, I thought to myself, it is better than Starstruck off Reality Killed the Video Star. And for whatever reason, I don't think it is. So I've been incredibly cutthroat with my own material as regards the next album. And this just didn't make the cut. Because I don't think it's better than Starstruck. And if it isn't better than something you've done in a similar vein, then bat on until you find something that is.
So,
profound Robbie quote there.
Yeah. So it's a good honest song, isn't it, about their love. You saw it all that first night, the best and worst of me, but it didn't make you leave. Obviously referring to that night when he was, well, we all know the story, don't we, that he'd slept with his drug dealer woman before going on the date with Ida. So he was obviously high. And then a few weeks later, he went to rehab for the final time.
Yep.
So clearly not in the best state, but she saw something in him, and the rest is history. I find the chorus gets in my head with this song. What do we all think? Andreas?
I need to say I'm happy that Starstruck is on the record and not changed with The Cure, because Starstruck is very catchy and I really love it. The Cure, it's making me also kind of, didn't want to say sad, but it's changed. It's on this point my mood on the record changed, because before it was so positive and you get a groovy vibe and like this late summer feeling, and The Cure changed a little bit and it's getting more into autumn mood, and it's makes me kind of sad. I need to say it's not a song that I want to hear so often.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a good song, but I skipped it once or twice.
I wrote down that it's got a lovely sentiment, but I can see why this was reserved for Under the Radar and why it didn't make it onto a proper album.
Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, it's got some good lyrics in it. I was never going to fall in love. I made a promise to myself, a promise I couldn't keep.
Yeah.
Your cure sure changed me. You started making me love. It's a beautiful sentiment, isn't it?
Yeah. I just love the opening. It's very sort of thumping drum beat and that kind of mystical feel. It's got a very electronic synthesizer feel to it.
Yeah.
Very Pet Shop Boys at the beginning, if you think about it.
Yeah.
The sort of harmony, I think he's harmonizing with himself, you weren't a tempest, not at all, just kind and beautiful. You weren't a tempest, not at all, just kind and beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely lyrics.
All about Ida. She's got so many love songs written about her, hasn't she?
She has, when you actually really take stock of it. Yeah, there are quite a few. I wonder if she sits and listens to them. I doubt it. Do you sit and listen to them, Ida? Write in and tell the show. I want to know. Do you sit and listen to them round the pool and when you're flying on the planes and when Rob's away? No. I think I know her answer.
Should go on to the pilot.
Yeah. So the pilot was written by Rob, Guy, Chris Heath and Justin Nozuka. Produced by Guy and Richard Flack. Pilot is a song mainly written with Guy and some other dude that's got a fantastic voice and writes great songs. I changed a few lyrics, I love the vibe on it, and just had to sing on it. Justin Nozuka is a Canadian-American singer and songwriter. Despite being offered a record deal by Universal, he chose to release independently. His first two albums had the most success, with his second charting at 118 on the Billboard chart, number 1 on the US Heat chart, and number 13 on the US Indie chart.
So, the pilot. Do you want to go first, Matt?
I don't know if I've got much to say about this. Shall I leave that in?
You can.
I have.
You can, because actually that's something I also want to say. But now that we are speaking about the record, song by song, it could be also nice that he make kind of like a good vibe part and a bad vibe part of the song, because I think now we have The Cure. Before The Cure, Bully could come. And then it starts with the new vibe. Because Madonna has the Rebel Heart album. And then you have also two kind of songs. The Rebel with very aggressive pop songs. And you have the love songs on the hard side. And actually that could also fit on Under the Radar. Just making one part the 90s summer vibe, and then you go into the little bit more depressed, darker sounds. And also the pilot is kind of it's a nice song, it's something new, but there's a reason why he's on Under the Radar.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I did write a few notes on it. I love the high pitched have I lost you yet? Have I lost you yet? And I also love the last part. We're unbeatable, yes. My heart beats a rhythm inside of your chest.
Yeah, I like that.
Repeat a few times. It keeps repeating. There's something very funky about the musical arrangement of it.
Yeah.
It feels very immersive. It's just that kind of song. It just sort of carries you along with it. But not one of the stronger songs on the album, I don't think. But don't dislike it. But yeah. What do you think, Liz?
I love the funky sound as well. The bass kind of really goes through you.
Yeah.
And there's some falsetto parts from Rob. The funkiness in his voice reminds me a little bit of Love Light in that respect on this one. The deep oohs in the background are kind of ominous.
Oh yeah.
I particularly like the bridge once again. Oh, wherever you may go, whatever you might do, I will catch your fall. I'll be there for you. And when you're feeling weak, not getting what you need, I will make you see that love is best with me.
Nice.
Yeah. And I like the bit that you said, we're unbeatable. Yes, my heart beats a rhythm inside of your chest. I just like that image that your heart is in someone else's chest. It's just...
You're connected.
Yeah. It's a cool little lyric. Andreas, do you like this song? Not so much?
Now that you're saying it sounds a little bit like Love Light, it could be a good song.
It's not like Love Light, but it's just got elements of it.
I think it would be good on Rootbox. To put the pilot on Rootbox, maybe on the end of the record, it fits and no one will say something. It would say, it's a nice song. I think here on Under the Radar, there are some songs that are very experimental, and he's maybe also just trying to see how the reactions are. So I like the vibe, like you said, the funkiness. It's something new. That's more I can't say, kind of. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
I think we want to move on to the next song, don't we? The Brits.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Written by Rob and Guy and produced by Guy, Chris Heath detailed the writing of this song in Reveal. While at the Brits 2013, Rob said to his manager David, "Everyone's too well behaved these days, aren't they? I wonder if it's got anything to do with the desperation. Normally there's a youth movement, but I just think maybe there's just apathy and fucking chavs. Now there's the false hope through the X Factor and reality TV shows. Anybody can be famous, and the truth is anyone can. There's loads of fucking reasons why there hasn't been an angry movement. Apathy's one, and I think dumbing down's worked."
So apathy's where you don't want to, just can't be asked to do anything.
You just can't be
kind
asked.
of just go with the status quo and
Yeah.
So while watching the live TV show on his TV in his dressing room, he said the fundamental problem is the same with any record industry audience. They know the magic's not real. They're the ones who killed the magic for me in the first place. Rob rapped the lyrics over a backing track that Guy had already written and wanted to release it for free immediately. Guy said, "It's good, as rants go, it's good. I can see why you want to get it out now." Rob replied, "I can't wait 3 years. I mean, it's not going on the Swing album." Guy said, "Somebody needs to say this. No one else is going to."
In the track by track, Rob explained, The Brits was written the day after being at the Brits in 2013. It was just a sterile evening, and I know it's not wise to bite the hand that's been so generous to me in the past, but I always remember the Brits being rock and roll, and you never know what was going to happen next. There was a vibe and an energy, and there was going to be an offering Liam on, or Jarvis Cocker getting up and showing his arse to Michael Jackson, or Chumbawamba throwing a bucket of water over John Prescott. And the whole evening, and a few of the Brits before, have descended into this polite, professional nothingness. I'm sure whatever came out on the TV was very entertaining, but backstage it just didn't feel like it used to feel, and I was sad about that. There's a few lines in there that are not mine. They're Big E Smalls lines. I fucked a few female stars or two. Sorry if that's offended you. They're not my lines. They're Big E Smalls lines. Oh. It's just me being a rapper. Let me have my fantasy.
So the really rude lines were written by Big E Small.
Yeah, of course.
Smalls.
Andreas, would you like to go first on the Brits?
I think the Brits is a song maybe just the British UK fans really understand, or people they really have a connection with the music scene, that they understand the Brits is kind of the biggest awards in music. But I think you guys understand more the lyrics and what he wants to say that we understand. For me, it's a song. I know there are the Brits, and I miss the connection to the songs because I don't know why he's singing about a award show. I think you have the UK fans have a better background knowledge about this, and then I say, yeah, of course, it is what it is. He's just say it clearly. So I like the music because it's also something kind of new, and he is kind of experimental, and
yeah,
I'm happy that he shared a song. Mm. That's something I can say. But for the rest, then you need to have more knowledge to say because and it sounds, to be honest, it sounds very British.
Right. Okay.
Kind of. It's it's a British song. If you just play the music and you say it's a British, German, French, or Australian, you will always say it's British. You can hear it, kind of.
Ah, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think you're right with that point of view, because obviously we grew up with the Brits. I don't know even when it started. When did it actually start?
In the 70s.
I seem to remember it being always there for my life. It's like it's an institution, really. You know, it's something that everybody would it would, in the days before internet and social media, it would be on, and obviously I think in those days it was actually live. I don't even think it was delayed live, because people would do such stupid things on stage and swear and make political statements and really outrageous stuff people would do, and then everybody would go to school or work the next day and they'd be talking about it. Back in the day when you had a few channels, it'd be like, did you see that on the Brits last night? I can't believe that he stormed the stage while she was and it was all that, wasn't it? So I think back in the day it was that kind of outrageous show, and obviously the TV producers and I think it was mainly on ITV, is that right? They must have just been terrified every time they put it on, but also quite excited because it got the biggest viewers. It's huge. Everybody watched it, didn't they? I mean, people who didn't even like pop music watched it. And then I think during Britpop, it obviously got massive. So when Robbie was on it in the early days, there was so many, the music scene back then was just off the scale. And they would all be having jibes at each other. So yeah, it's very much it's an institution. That's the easiest way of describing it. But I think you can hear in the song that when you go to, sometimes when you see these things on television, you think, wow, must be so cool to be there. And then you go there and it's full of like people that maybe aren't so exciting and aren't so fun. I want to go careful what I say here because I know a few people in the music industry. So, the music industry is like any other industry. It's made up of people it takes many, many people to launch records, CDs, record, so you have people from across the whole industry, but obviously it got a bit boring for him. Yeah?
Yeah.
I love his acceptance speech at the beginning. I'm very excited to be here yet again. It's an honor to be nominated, of course. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
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 blah.
blah, blah. And I love the fact that he's written such a candid and to the point song about the Brits. Well, that Brits night was so fucking boring. I guess it was back in the days where he was a bit more rock and roll,
Yeah.
And I love the chorus, especially when he's saying looking grass, as in GRASS, not glass. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I only picked that up a little while ago, and I said to Lizzie, is he saying grass? Yeah, okay, he is. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I was going to say the whole chorus, but I won't. But the other bit of the chorus I like is, it's like a VD clinic, only pricks are in it. I just think that is a classic line. So clever. In fact, all the lyrics are clever in this song.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe for Brits, maybe not so much for everybody else. What do you think,
I
Liz?
think it's an absolute classic. I think the lyrics are typical Robbie. It's very kind of Rude Box-esque, isn't it?
Yes.
And he is good at rapping. I do enjoy his rap songs.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to have like an 80s and a 90s again, really. I suppose it's like another one of those.
It is a bit one of that. Yeah, it is in that camp.
But it's sort of the 2000s almost.
Yes.
The noughties, I guess it is.
That's true.
Well, it's actually the 10s, isn't it? Because it was 2013. When I had a bit of beef with You Know Who, that's obviously Liam. And then, oh yes, you're still rocking with the best, second person in my year to have touched a breast. I'm nearly 40 now and I'm still impressed. Throw back to the 80s again, in which he says 30s and he's in his 30s, but now he's in his 40s. I just absolutely adore the chorus. It sounds so melodic and kind of agreeable, but the lyrics don't match because the lyrics are slagging the Brits off. But the melody is all kind of all nice and everything's all nice, but actually, no, it's not all good. It's not nice. I'm not happy. It just makes it more interesting. I'll be that mega white thing, fast as lightning. Obviously, an homage to Born Slippy.
Yeah.
And in Nebworth shape, but twice as frightening. If they can't be bothered, then I promise you this. If they won't entertain you, then I'll do my fucking best. Obviously a reference to his Let Me Entertain You and Nebworth songs. And then still not concentrating at the back of the class. No thanks, sir. This one's for you. Reference to Hello, Sir, which he ended up repeating when he collected his Brits Icon Award in 2016, nearly 4 years after this song was written. So the Brits still gave him another big award even after he wrote this song. Yeah, I just love it. I just think it's a great song, great melody. Nice to have him rapping again.
Yeah.
I like the way that Guy didn't disagree as well. He just said somebody needs to say this. Nobody else is going to. He didn't just say, "Oh no, Rob, don't do that." You know, don't poke the institution. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know, just get on with it. And
yeah,
I think he knew Rob was going to do it anyway, so he just thought he better agree.
Yeah. So going on to the next song, National Treasure.
Yeah, this is written by Rob, Guy and Chris Heath and produced by Guy and Richard Flack. In the track by track, Rob said, "Who do you think it's about? I won't tell you who it is. Maybe you could answer that on the forum or underneath the blog. It could be interesting to see. It's become about me. It was originally about someone else. Who is it?"
Then people speculated it was about David Bowie, as his real name is David Robert Jones. Rob then said on chat, "I can assure you it isn't David Bowie, and I can't say who it is because I like him and the song isn't that complimentary. That being said, it isn't Gary Barlow either."
Oh.
See, I still think it's David Bowie. I don't know. What do you think?
The lyrics seem to make sense for Bowie's life and what he was into and what he was doing and kind of how sort of eccentric and different he was.
But the way that he says he pushes food around the plate makes it sound as though Robbie has actually had dinner with him, and I don't think that he has. or he did have dinner with David Bowie. So that makes me think that maybe it isn't him.
Who do you think it is, Andreas?
I'm so sorry, Lucy, but at this point, I can't agree with you the first time, because listen to the music and what he's saying. It create me more the picture of David Bowie than someone else. I don't know why. It's how the music sounds, the lyrics. It's now that you're saying it, it's more David Bowie for me. Just because it's a new Robbie, of course, and it's kind of I can see the hair of David Bowie during this song, and also the makeup which David Bowie had in his early career. So I'm not sure, but I go with David Bowie.
Yeah. I think it is David Bowie.
He doesn't have to have had dinner with him. That could be...
he could just know that.
That could be a metaphor, an analogy, just something that he's saying about, weight, or... Yeah. He was quite thin, wasn't he? So... Yeah.
Maybe he's
maybe it just rhymed.
Yeah.
We've had that before. Weird, careful with weight, mother thinks he's odd, gifted, never passes straight, no proper job. That was my summary. So weird, careful with weight, mother thinks he's odd, gifted, never passes straight, no proper job. I mean, that could describe a lot of people, I know, but I think the lyrics in this song are genius Robbie storytelling. I mean, I especially love the chorus. In a world full of weird, you're the oddest ever. Heard you brought everyone here so much pleasure, clever. We all know that you're a national treasure. Mrs. Jones, you made the best boy ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love the tune, the arrangement of the instruments, especially the piano. I think it's got all the instruments are played by Guy on this. It's got an electric harp, flute, bass guitar, piano, acoustic guitar, and then it's got drums by Carl. I just love the melody, the sound, everything about it. And also, I note that it's co-written with Chris Heath again. And have you noticed that quite a lot of the songs that are written with Chris Heath have really interesting lyrics, or really good stories?
He's a storyteller
in them.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I love it. Do you like the actual song?
No.
No, you don't?
No.
Wow.
There are actually
why not?
3. Let me check the list. I think there are 3 songs I actually always kind of skip. And National Treasure is one of them. But it's, like I said before,
each to their own.
Maybe it's too British for me from the sound of the music, that it's not so mainstream. It's a little bit more British. I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion, but it's at least the next song for me.
Yeah, it's not really a classic pop song, is it? It's because it cuts it. It's sort of like a... Yeah, it's hard to put it into a genre, actually. So, but yeah, we'll move on to the next song for you, unless Lucy's got anything else to say.
No, I haven't, no.
Right. So let's talk about Super Tony. So this was written by Rob, Calvin, Danny, Rich and Scott, produced by Calvin and Danny. Rob said, I am Super Tony, and it's a moniker that I gave myself while writing this song, looking back at myself, at a period of my life that was heavily influenced by cocaine and London and media hangouts. And I got myself into some serious shit. And the song is a jaunty, light-hearted look back at a period of my life where I totally unravelled and lost myself and my personality, and who I was and what I was all about. I became something else for other people. This song is a jaunty Lionel Bart version of that life. Robbie originally played this on his Radio Rudebox show on his website in 2011, when it was entitled Cocaine. You can find this original version on YouTube.
So Andreas, please tell me you like Super Tony.
Do you want that I lie to you that we are still friends?
All views are welcome on the podcast, as I always say.
I don't get it wrong.
Andreas is now shaking his head from side to side just to give you the audio description.
I don't.
He can't bring himself to say anything about it. Go on, tell us.
I can't really say is it a pop song, is it a swing song, is it a song which could be on Rootbox? I can't say. If someone say on which record it should be, I think I don't know. I can't. Yeah. It could be something experimental for the first swing album. It could be like a deluxe version. I can see it over there, but maybe in an orchestra version or a version or a little bit more swingy. I could get it. But now it's something.
Okay.
I can see something, but I can't touch it.
Right. Well, for me, it kind of reminds me of Are You Being Served?
Yeah, really?
Which is a British comedy TV show from the 70s, is it? Or the 80s? Maybe?
70s probably, yeah.
Where it's... I mean, is it the theme tune that reminds me of it? Because they've got... Because of the sound of the cash register, because it's basically a TV show set in a shop.
In a department store.
Department store.
Yeah,
and
they're serving all different people. It's comedy sketches about how people come in asking for stuff.
Yeah.
And you always hear in the theme tune the ding, ka-ching, ka-ching, that sound, don't you? Or the old cash register, I think.
Yeah, the money in the till. And because it's got that sound in it, it just reminds me of that TV show, which is totally
Which
random.
couldn't be more different from what the song's about.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I know what you mean.
It's because it's got... But I know, and so I understand what you're saying, Andreas. It's got a funny kind of vibe to it. It's very different. It's very unique. But I actually really love it for that. And it will forever remind me of Alan and Sarah and their son Ethan, who drew an amazing interpretation of Robbie as Super Tony, which sold for a lot of money at the Fan Fest in 2014. He did a really good drawing of Rob.
Is that the one where
it's like
face is
it's like
away?
So it's Robbie on top, sort of bare chested, and then at the bottom his body kind of fades away into sort of goo.
Yeah, dribbling away.
Dribbling away. You're looking at us like we're nuts.
No,
Andreas.
I'm just really listening to you, and I'm kind of curious and really interesting what you're saying, because there are also things I never hear before, and now, that sounds interesting, and I really enjoy it to share your information, your point of view with me. I get another view of the songs, and maybe if I listen tomorrow to Under the Radar, I say, now I get it, you know?
Yeah. The more we go on this journey, Andreas, the more random connections we make between things.
Yeah.
So it's fun. But you had some misheard lyrics.
Yeah, I do,
there,
yeah.
You? Go on then, what are they?
Well, apparently it says, isn't it nice that our fingers make V's, as in sticking two fingers up? V's. Let's throw them all night. I thought it said, isn't it nice that our fingers made these? Let's throw up all night. But that makes sense, because he's talking about being high
and say it would equally fit
on cocaine and whatever, being out of it. So throwing up all night, I thought it fitted. Everyone trying to be someone else. I was someone else as well, but it's all right when you're getting the show right. It just speaks volumes about the drug and celebrity scene in the 90s. Yeah. And I'd love to know, he says, shoveling snow with the best of the worst, people you know well. I mean, the people that he must have done drugs with in the 90s. I'd love to know some of those. I bet they're people that we would never have thought as well.
The Spice Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Yeah, a lot of people, I would say, possibly included in this. I mean, you've already said one of my favourite lines where you're sort of saying, no, it's the line about, it's all right when you're getting the show right. People can. I think he talks about the fact that people can be kind of high functioning on drugs. They can actually continue and perform and still get it right. But then obviously there is that knife edge, where it flips and things aren't quite so good, and you can't do anything. And then I wrote down the line, "Can you recall all the cubicle scenes? Didn't we talk well? Professional northerners we might have been. We've got a new walk as well." So, a bit of a different swagger. But it's all right when you're getting your stroll right.
It's just classic hilarity in this.
Yeah. And I guess a lot of it's an account of all the things that happen to you when you're on cocaine. Snow White, by the way, is not the one from the fairy tale, listeners, just in case you thought that was who it was. Thou art holier than I, but didn't I do well, shoveling snow with the best of the worst, people you know well, but it's all right, 'cause you're Snow White.
It's just funny. It's a funny song.
Yes. And I think it's a bit weird because it's written in the style of someone possibly who is on cocaine, as well. You know what I mean? It's a bit weird and eccentric because of that. But so there you go. Have another listen, Andreas. Let us know what you think.
But I love it.
I will do it.
So let's move on to Green Light. This was written by Rob, Tim and Flynn, produced by Tim and Flynn. Rob said, "It's a song that I get euphoric recall every time I listen to it. It's an ode to the dying of the past, a past me. It's probably what people talk about when they have a midlife crisis, which is grieving the groovy person that you used to be, or you thought you were when you were 18, 19, 21. There's a particular girl that I've written this song about, and it's from my clubbing days. We used to go out as a gang, and if we hadn't found anybody to sleep with, we'd sleep with each other. I got rose-tinted spectacles about those days, because those days took me to rehab, but there was a reason for continually banging my head against that brick wall, because it was a lot of fun for a short while, and this is the short while it was still fun." Rob stated on chat that this was his favourite song on the album. He sung this at the Under the Radar gig, saying that he'd get in a white transit van with his crew from Warrington and go to Miss Moneypenny's in Birmingham, necking a load of speed. So, Green Light. What do you think about Green Light, Andreas?
I need to say I liked it before the Roundhouse gig, and after the gig, after he's saying it, what you said, I loved the song, because since then I have a picture. I understand the song. I can see what he's telling, and also before I think it's one of the most underrated songs, because Greenlight it's so good. It's more I can't say. It's an outstanding song, just underrated because it's not really placed on the right place. I love it. And that's also kind of weird, just that we are talking about. It's called Green Light. I have green eyes. Robbie has green eyes. It's something why I already connected before I had all this information. I don't know why. It's just what is coming to my mind, but I really like the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt?
I love it. It's beautiful, this song. It's so, the vocal is so sincere and heartfelt, although it's actually, I enjoyed telling one of my mates recently, Star, when we were in the car recently, and it was playing, and he was like, "Well, what's this one about?" And I said, "Well, it's actually about a fuck buddy." Quite enjoyed telling him that. He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, he used to give him the green light if there was no one else about, and off they'd go." And but when I was looking at the lyrics, I was like, what's the difference between an overrated flower, a faded flower, and an underrated flower?
Yeah, I know. I was wondering that. Yeah.
Found that interesting how he was playing with those different types of flower. I mean, Robbie suggests that they're all the best, I think.
True.
in the end.
Yeah.
Something Wicked This Way Comes. So I picked up on that. Did you think
What, as in he's something wicked?
So, Lucy, Something Wicked This Way Comes can be interpreted as an allegory of the struggle between good and evil.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go. So it was actually, did you want to hear my factoid on it?
Yeah.
You don't really, but I will say
I
it.
want to hear.
You want to hear it, Andreas? I'm going to tell you. It comes from a 1962 dark fantasy novel by Ray Bradbury, and it's about two 13-year-old best friends, Jim Nightshade and William Halloway, and their nightmarish experience with a travelling carnival that comes to their Midwestern home, Greentown, Illinois, on October the 24th. There you go. So possibly Robbie was reading that dark fantasy novel and was thinking about that. I don't know. Something Wicked This Way Comes. There you go.
Yeah, I think there's something mesmerising about this melancholic song. It just makes you want to sing along, especially to the chorus.
Yeah.
And the bridge is exceptional. Leave the light on, leave the light on. It just gives you chills. The music and his voice when he was singing that in the concert.
Yeah. I mean, it just instantly when you hear it, it instantly takes you back to the Roundhouse.
Yeah.
I agree with both of you. It's just, you're just there again, aren't you? And you hear it. Yeah.
And she likes the boys that sing the songs. And I like that line because obviously Robbie was one of the boys that sings the songs because he was in a boy band. But I'm guessing that she wasn't that interested in the fact that he was in a boy band. I don't know.
It wasn't about that.
Yeah, it wasn't about that. Yeah.
No.
I'm imagining that he wasn't one of the boys on the posters on her wall. Maybe she was into Oasis instead. And I'm out of your league, son, she seemed to say. And for a little while, she was.
Yeah.
But now that he's an international pop star, he's probably out of her league.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd just really like to know more about this girl. He seems to have had a lot of fun in Ibiza when you think about this song, and also Speaking Tongues, the crazy song.
Oh, yeah.
The crazy story he talks about in that
But
song.
maybe she is a small part of the movie of Better Men. You never know. Maybe she has
Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
It could be a part of his journey. Maybe it's happened after he left Take That, and then he started to drugs, or it was just happened before Take That. He was safe.
I'd imagine it was just before, or maybe at the beginning of Take That.
Because like you said, with the boys, with just one of the boys singing a lyric, maybe he's just dating or seeing each other like friends with benefits, and then he's getting a career, and he's just both taking drugs, and then he's getting like a prostitute, and he making career. Also, maybe just happened after they broke up.
Yeah.
It could fit in both.
What a good thought though, Andreas. Good thought that it could. Wouldn't it be lovely if some of these songs actually appear in the storytelling of Better Man?
Yeah.
I mean, creatively, these songs could fit. I think you've got a really good point there. I would really love and I think Rob would really like for some of the Under the Radar songs to be on there as well. So maybe that's a good prediction that this and some of the others could appear, even if they only play parts of them or bits of them, or maybe rearrange them. I don't know, but it would really help to tell the story. So let's hope you're right. Let's see if they're in Better Man.
Also putting other songs from Under the Radar, 1, 2, 3, on the movie. It's giving them a place that the bigger audience can hear to it. I think if I'm going to the movie and hear and see all the songs I already know, it's kind of maybe boring. You also want to hear something new, and these kind of songs you hear and you say it's Robbie.
I agree.
It's something new. It's Robbie, and
I agree.
It fits to his growth to a superstar.
I agree. It would fit. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Can you write him an email?
No, we don't have his email address.
Yeah. Let's see.
And also, another thing about leave the light on.
Yeah.
It will always forever remind me about when he used to leave the light on in chat. When he'd say Robbie is in the chat room.
He's left the red light on.
And everyone would call it the red light. And we'd all joke about the fact that he'd left the light on.
Yeah, he's left the light on.
When he was actually
the lights are
there.
on, but there's nobody home. That kind of, all those jokes would come out. Yeah. Or is he there secretly listening to us, or secretly watching it, and then you'd be chatting, and then suddenly you'd go, "No, I'm not." So you never quite knew, did you?
No.
I think a lot of the time he was watching.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not a thing anymore, sadly.
No, maybe one day again, but probably not. So what do we go on to now then?
The final song, Bullet.
Bullet. Written by Rob, Tim and Flynn and produced by Tim and Flynn. Rob said, the backing track Tim and Flynn, my Aussie mates, wrote. They pressed play, I was in the vocal booth and I sang the song from the beginning to end. That's the take that you've got on this album. Wow. It was all ad-libbed. There were no changes in one take. That's how it came out of my mind. Therefore, that's the way it stayed. And of course, it's about Ida.
Again. Another one. So when he says he ad-libbed, he must have had some lines in his head already. Because you know what he's like on his laptop. He says he's got all these like post-it note
He's got notes,
things on his laptop homepage with just full of lyrics. So he's got loads of lyrics in his head anyway. So it's not like he's just done it fresh. I'd imagine he's already had some of those ideas before and they've just put them together in one flow. Do you like the song?
I think he had the song written out. But I think what he's saying is it was done in one take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the song?
I love it. And the reason why I love it is because also it's not like a regular song, like you have the verse, you have the chorus, you have a bridge, because there is no bullet in the chorus. It's happened in the bridge after it. So it's kind of different lyrics in one song, and it's like someone is sitting in front of me and proposed to me and saying something like this. It's like really honest, and it's not really like I need to write something down and it makes sense. It's just like an open speech. And what I really like is this is how I feel. And then that was the moment when it's so not matching to the rest of the songs, but in this part, he's getting me so emotional. So to be honest, that's a song I could imagine for the first dance on a wedding. That's because it's so brave and so bold of him talking like his honest feelings to his wife. And I love it. I really, really love it. Because there's no real chorus. It's just saying something again he wants to say and put it in the place where a chorus is, and no real bridge. I think maybe also the song would be actually maybe shorter, but like you said, he just sing it down and bring some lyrics which just came into my mind. You see, it's like his own really real baby. It just created or just happened in the moment. So it's a really honest song, I need to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, it's a nice song. But I'll be honest, I'm never really quite sure what to make or what to think of it. I guess it's and I don't know why. I've never really known why. I don't dislike it. I've never quite known what to make of it. I think it's obviously a powerful statement of love when you say to someone, that you take a bullet for someone. That's kind of a pretty extreme statement. And there's a good lyric right at the top of the song. Well, it was years ago, long before I'd ever met the Queen. I would stay up all night and act like heaven was a place I'd already seen.
Lovely.
which he hasn't, and he's never met the Queen. So
He has met the Queen,
Oh,
hasn't
when?
he?
Yes.
I think he's met the Queen.
when? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a Royal Variety performance
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. Okay.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I just think it's another gorgeous love song. Yeah, it's just another gorgeous love song to Ida. He's like, when he says no one ever near good enough, he certainly tried out quite a few before finding Ida.
He tried the
But no
market
one
out.
was quite good enough until he found Ida. I would stay up all night and act like heaven was a place I'd already seen. I like that line as well.
He does stay up all night. He did used to.
He
yeah.
still does,
It's
probably.
true. Bit of a night owl.
And then you straddled me like a bridge going somewhere good. That's a line that I know lots of people very much like. And I love his voice on, and I hope it don't change, and I hope it stays the same. And I hope we do remain best friends, because I love you more than life. Take a bullet for you, I swear, in a heartbeat. I take a bullet for you, I adore you. I just absolutely love his voice on that. It's really,
Yeah.
you can feel the emotion, can't you,
Yeah.
when he's singing it.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
That line in particular. Yeah.
Yeah. Just outstanding.
And just, we are talking about the lyrics and the song. That's a song, I think it would always reminds me on the situation I am right now. Because I've never been in love like this at the moment. And like, this is how I feel. Or also take the bullet for you. It fits so good right now for my life. It would be always reminds me of the situation or the time zone or time slot I'm right now. Yeah. Robbie has always good songs for the right moment. So he can't never leave my life because he already has a huge place in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soundtrack to your life.
Definitely.
Yeah. Was always a song that fits.
So I think we've come to the end of all the songs. There's quite a few on this album.
Yeah.
True.
So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So it's actually time to pick our favourite. And in time-honoured tradition, we let Andreas go first.
Yeah. Can you choose a favourite from all of those?
Yeah. It's way too easy for me because it's HIS. Just is.
Yes.
Right.
It's something new. It's something unexpected. It's something maybe just the friendlies understand the song because the way he's singing, he's so honest. There's something. Yeah, there's a magic behind the song. It's a reason why I have it on my body as a tattoo. So I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. And
So
Matt?
HES. You sure you want to let me go next?
You can go
because you
next.
can see what I've written down on them. I don't always write them down on our notes, but you can. So you're happy with what I put for number one, are you?
Yeah.
That doesn't take your choice.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I'm going to pick Raver. Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be. That night in Camden when he sang that song. I'm always transported back there. And it reminds me, I didn't have quite so many hedonistic days as Robbie did back in the day, but it does remind me of clubbing and really going for it. Not doing all the substances that he did, but it certainly reminds me of my wilder party days, put it that way. And Lucy,
For
what's
me,
yours?
it has to be All Climb On.
Ah,
Of course. It's just beautiful. It's just love it. Love it, love it, love it.
brilliant.
I don't know what else to say except that.
Interesting.
What a good choice of 3 songs that will be going on our playlist.
I do feel like some people are going to be disappointed that none of us have chosen Green Light, though.
Well, it was my number 2.
Yeah. I do love Green
I
Light.
had that in reserve if either of you might have had the same. So,
Right.
yeah, it's a beautiful song. It's a shame we haven't picked that one, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's okay. These things, everyone has their own favourite.
Lucy won't let us break the rules, Andreas, and have 4. We can only have 3. So, so Andreas, thank you so much for spending the time with us and giving us your perspective and also sharing all your lovely stories and how you relate to Rob. It's a beautiful thing, and really appreciate your time and your connection. And I think we're going to be seeing you again soon. Are we going to be seeing you in Munich?
Yeah.
You will see me definitely in Munich.
Excellent. Look forward to that. Yeah.
I need to say also,
Yes, thank you, Andreas.
I need to say thank you just to meet such friendlies, because to speak just about Robbie with other people, it's just a joy, and it's so inspirational to hear also the other appointments, and it's like quality time on the other way, and I really enjoyed this time. I need to say it was a pleasure for me to be part of this podcast.
Oh, thank
pleased to
you.
hear it.
Well, we had you booked in a very long time ago when we knew that Under the Radar one was one of your favourites. So it was always there for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thanks for listening. Tune into the next episode when we will be joined by Kelly and Val, who will be telling us about their adventures on the Let Me Entertain You tour of 2015. We'll also be looking at some collaborations Robbie sung on from 2014 to 2019, such as Electrico Romantico with Bob Sinclair and The Days with Avicii.
And when you say their adventures, I'm sure there will be some
yes.
very interesting adventures and stories from Kelly and Val.
Yes,
so
I
don't
know
miss
there
that
is.
one.
So thanks, Andreas. Nice
Yeah,
to
thanks
see you.
for joining us. And we'll see you soon in Munich.
Yeah. Right,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Okay,
Ciao.
bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.